Good morning, everyone. This is a little weird. I realized at church I forgot my watch, so I will not be timing myself this time. So Power 5 is funny asking Jeremiah, I'm on Power 5. I don't know what to talk about. He's like, well, why don't you talk about motherhood or being a wife or all of these things? And I was thinking about it on the way in, and there's a lot of things in this year and almost a half that I have learned since becoming a mother. And it's amazing how much you see when raising a little one, raising a child, you see how much God is like that for us, how much we are like little children. One of the things I was joking about this week with Renee in regards to our kids is rest. Because everybody knows, every parent here knows that when everyone's tired, the world is wrong. Everything is wrong. And nothing makes it better. They don't think anything makes it better. And yet, you as the parent know, rest. Lay down, close your eyes. And sometimes you have to force the issue with your child. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, how often does that happen between us and God? We live in a world that says go, 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 go. And yet, we have more and more people in our society that are anxious and fearful and nervous about anything and everything. And it's like, how much of that would change even with just simply resting? Because the thing about rest is that it requires trust. If I'm going to rest and not work specifically on a certain day of the week, make sure that I have a day where I'm not working my job to earn an income. That means I'm trusting God to take care of me. That I'm not going to force the issue and make sure that I have work, that I am working and making money, bringing it in all the time. Right? There's an element of trust there that's needed. And how often do we fight that? How many times, I don't know how many times I've had friends and family members where something happens that forces them to rest. They've finally stressed their body and injured themselves to the point where now they have to rest. And they don't realize until they're forced there that, man, this is what I needed. And it's like, that's just one of the many things in learning to be a mom. And what are we teaching our children that we're thinking we're just being practical in them living their lives, but really we're teaching them what God is like. You know, I think about it with Zoe, and it's like, you know, her dad and I are the first examples she has of what an authority is like, of what a spiritual authority is like, what God is like. We are her first impressions. Are you present? Do you have boundaries? Do you not give in all the time? How many believers throw fits and temper tantrums because they don't get what they want, because they've never been taught that you don't get everything you want. Sometimes God says no because you can't handle it. Zoe's not allowed to play with our phones. Not because she'll never be allowed to, but because right now I don't want her messing up my settings. I don't want her accidentally calling 911. She doesn't have the capacity to be responsible with that. So the answer right now is no. And how many other parts of our lives are like that with God? Taking care of our things, taking care of our pets, teaching how to be a good steward of your stuff and of other people's things. Those are all things that good parents teach their kids, and yet those are all things that God has called his people to do, to learn and be examples in. So that is my Power 5. That's my thought is, and I encourage those of you, especially those of you who are parents or grandparents, think about those things that you have taught your kids. And do I behave like a toddler with God? Or am I maturing that I can be given more responsibility? Because that's what pleases him. is when we mature and we can handle more.